Welcome, dear listener, to another deep dive. Today, we're not just, looking at symbols on the side of the road. We're actually decoding a crucial silent language, a language that guides our journeys and really guards our safety. We're navigating the intricate world of road safety, specifically focusing on those triangular sentinels.
Those warning signs, yeah.
Exactly, the danger warning signs. Our mission today is to unpack their meaning, dissect their clever design, and most importantly, truly analyze what they demand of us, the drivers, to ensure everyone gets home safely.
Indeed, it's a topic that touches every single person who gets behind the wheel, yet we often take these signs for granted, don't we?
We really do.
We're delving into the silent language of the road,
Mhm.
a meticulously crafted system designed to give us that vital heads up, that crucial moment to prepare for the unexpected. And for this fascinating exploration, we're drawing insights, in part, from some foundational work presented by Risto Garces. He's quite an esteemed figure in the understanding of these critical road safety elements, particularly within the Greek road traffic code, the Hoitikas Souklu Warsis.
Right. So if you've ever wondered about the why behind that familiar red triangle, or precisely how you should adapt your driving behavior when you see a specific symbol, well, you're in for an enlightening journey today.
Hopefully.
We're here to equip you with the knowledge to not just identify these signs, but to perfectly kind of document their message in your mind and seamlessly adapt your driving behavior for each one. We really want to dig into the principles, understand not just what to do, but why it works.
That's right. And we'll be looking at how these signs are actually engineered to immediately capture your attention. And, crucially, provide you with enough lead time to adjust your driving before you even reach the actual point of danger.
Before the hazard itself.
Exactly. This proactive design is what directly and I think profoundly contributes to preventing accidents, often silently saving lives without us even, realizing it.
All right, let's unpack the core purpose here. At their heart, danger warning signs, or as our sources often call them, prohibit pinaques, they have one overarching goal.
Right, a primary goal, yeah.
To give you, the driver, advanced notice. They exist to inform you early about dangerous situations, maybe road anomalies or special conditions ahead that need your particular attention. But why is early the key word here? Why is that so critical?
Well, what's truly fascinating, and this gets to the fundamental philosophy behind them, is that their design is entirely focused on prevention.
Prevention, okay.
They don't just alert you to a danger that's, right there in front of you. Instead, they warn you in advance. They provide that crucial window, that margin of safety to adapt your driving.
So it's not just a marker, it's a preparation tool.
Exactly. Think of them less as simple markers and more like your roadside navigators. They're constantly scanning ahead, flagging potential issues before they become immediate, unavoidable threats. This proactive approach is absolutely fundamental to their role within the road traffic code.
Makes sense.
And the sources we looked at, they repeatedly emphasize this purpose. Nini mesum tous dugugos, giged ekindunes katastesis. Meaning to inform drivers early about dangerous situations.
Right.
Sumelitas isiostis si kosyon atukshimonto, thus contributing essentially to the prevention of traffic accidents. It highlights that their entire reason for being is as a safety mechanism.
Built on giving you that heads up.
Precisely. Giving you that heads up before things get dicey, allowing you to prepare rather than merely react. It's like the difference between seeing a weather forecast warning you about a storm.
And just getting caught out in it.
Exactly. Preparation versus reaction. It's huge.
So, okay, these aren't just random roadside decorations. They're meticulously designed. You notice they usually have that very specific, almost iconic look. What are the universal features that make them so instantly recognizable? So, intuitively understood across different cultures.
Yeah, that's a critical consideration because the effectiveness really hinges on that immediate recognition. Their basic characteristics aren't just aesthetic, they're strategically chosen for maximum impact and instant comprehension. They tap into our innate cognitive processes.
How so?
Okay, first let's consider their shape. They universally feature that equilateral triangle shape with the apex pointing upwards.
So the pointy bit up.
Right, and that isn't arbitrary. It's almost like a primal visual cue. Some research in cognitive psychology suggests our brains are kind of hardwired to perceive an upward-pointing triangle as an alert, or maybe a change in status, a signal to be vigilant.
Interesting, like an arrow pointing to something important.
Sort of, yeah. It creates this sense of maybe instability or an upcoming challenge. It immediately triggers a caution response in the brain, often even before the specific icon inside is fully processed. It's like an intuitive visual alarm that just cuts through language barriers.
Okay, shape is one. What else?
Second, their color. They feature that bold red border surrounding a white or yellow background. Now, red is universally associated with danger or stop.
Right. Stop signs, traffic lights.
Exactly. It's a color that quite literally can trigger our fight or flight response. It demands immediate attention, and it provides maximum contrast, making sure it stands out against almost any background: trees, buildings, sky.
Lower pops.
It pops. And the bright white or yellow background then ensures the central icon, the picture inside, stands out clearly, even in different light conditions: bright sun, gray overcast day, dusk. These characteristics make them super distinguishable in a driver's field of vision. They cut through all the visual noise on the road with, well, undeniable authority.
And the picture itself.
Yeah.
The icon.
Ah, yes, the iconography. The central image within the sign depicts the type of danger in a really simple yet clear manner. These aren't just, pretty pictures. They are concise visual metaphors for the hazard ahead, designed for rapid comprehension at a glance, often in just a fraction of a second.
Quick recognition is key.
Absolutely vital. And what's truly fascinating here, and so important for global road safety, is that these images are internationally standardized.
Meaning they're the same everywhere.
Largely, yes. This ensures they are immediately understandable by all drivers, regardless of the language they speak or their cultural background. Think about it whether you're driving in Greece, Germany, or Japan. A triangle with that little figure of a child
Means kids nearby, school zone, be careful.
Exactly. School zone ahead, or something similar. And that clarity is a testament to incredibly effective, life-saving design. This standardization fosters a universal visual language. It removes linguistic barriers and ensures everyone gets the same message, which is crucial on today's roads.
So it's this really smart combination of psychology, color theory, and these universal symbols. But, like you said earlier, it's not just what the signs look like, it's also where they're placed that makes all the difference. They're definitely not just, plopped down right at the spot of the danger itself.
Exactly right. Their effectiveness relies so heavily on their strategic placement. It's all about giving you not just time to see the sign, but enough time, enough distance to actually process the information and adapt your driving smoothly and safely.
Makes sense. You need time to react.
You do. And the distance at which they are placed before the point of danger varies significantly based on the road type. And that's simply because the time you need to react changes dramatically with your speed.
Okay, so how does that work? Urban versus rural.
Well, in urban areas, for instance, where speeds are generally lower, maybe 40, 50 kilometers per hour, the sign is placed relatively close to the point of danger. Perhaps, 50 to 100 meters beforehand.
Closer in.
Closer in. It's a practical decision. At lower speeds, you cover less ground per second, so you don't need as much physical distance to react. The hazard is encountered sooner after the warning, but you have more time, proportionally, to process and respond within that shorter distance.
Right, slower speed, more thinking time per meter.
Precisely. But then, on the other hand, you get out onto rural roads or motorways, speeds are significantly higher, maybe 90, 110, 130 kilometers per hour. Here, the sign is placed at a much greater distance, typically 150 to 250 meters before the hazard.
That's quite a bit further back.
It has to be.
Wow.
This longer distance is absolutely crucial. It provides that ample reaction time needed for drivers traveling at much higher speeds. I mean, think about the difference between driving down a quiet city street at 40 kilometers versus cruising on a motorway at 120 kilometers, say.
Big difference.
Huge.
Yeah.
At 120 kilometer, your vehicle is covering roughly 33 meters every single second.
Wow, okay.
So that 250 meters, that's just under 8 seconds of travel time. That's your entire window, your total time to see the sign, register what it means, decide what to do, and then physically execute that action like braking or steering.
8 seconds isn't very long when you put it like that.
It really isn't, especially when you factor in perception time, decision time. The need for that extended warning buffer at higher speeds is just intuitive, really. You simply cover so much more ground in the same amount of psychological reaction time. So this tailored placement, it highlights the careful, physics-informed thought behind the entire system. It ensures the warning isn't just visible, but truly actionable given the specific road conditions.
Okay, so you've seen the sign. It's standing out, it's well-designed, it's placed strategically, it's done its job alerting you. But for all that engineering and psychology to actually matter, It needs you, the driver, to respond correctly. So what's your immediate universal responsibility when that red triangle catches your eye? What's the playbook?
That's the critical point, isn't it? The moment the information transfers from the sign to the driver's brain and then hopefully to their actions. What's the universal code of conduct? The non-negotiable response when you're confronted with a warning sign?
Yeah, what are the rules?
Well, the sources make it abundantly clear that certain immediate actions are absolutely critical for your safety and for the safety of everyone else on the road. There are essentially three crucial steps. We can think of them as the golden rules of reaction. They sound simple, but applying them effectively, consistently, well, that's deeply complex and profoundly impactful.
Okay, golden rules. Let's hear them.
The first and most fundamental action is to gradually reduce your speed. Now, this isn't just about, tapping the brakes lightly. It's about fundamentally altering the physics of the situation in your favor.
Altering the physics. How?
Well, beyond just buying you more milliseconds to process information, which is important, there's a profound physical reality at play. Kinetic energy, the energy of motion. And it increases exponentially with speed. Not linearly, exponentially.
Okay, so faster means much, much more energy.
Exactly. Which means even a small reduction in your velocity, your speed, has a disproportionately large impact on things like your stopping distance and the force of any potential impact. Quick example. If you double your speed, you don't just double your braking distance, you roughly quadruple it. And the energy in a crash, also quadrupled.
Wow. That's significant.
It is. So reducing speed isn't just about giving your brain more time to figure things out. It literally transforms a potential catastrophe into a potentially manageable incident by dramatically reducing the destructive energy your vehicle is carrying. It's about gaining better control, increasing your margin for error, and reducing the likelihood of losing control, skidding, spinning out in a hazardous situation. That's rule number one, slow down.
Got it. Slow down first. What's rule number two?
Second, you must enter a state of continuous vigilance and observation. You need to be actively scanning, not just passively looking ahead. Engage your peripheral vision. Actively search the roadway and the surrounding environment.
So more than just glancing.
Much more. Your task is to actively identify the specific danger that the sign is warning you about. It isn't enough just to spot the sign and mentally tick a box. You have to connect that abstract symbol on the sign to the concrete reality on the road ahead.
Can you give an example?
Sure. If the sign indicates falling rocks, that's K14, we'll talk about later, your increased attention shouldn't just be vaguely looking forward. It should immediately focus on the rock face beside the road. You should be actively scanning for fresh debris on the pavement or maybe unstable-looking areas up above.
Right, looking for the actual rocks.
Exactly. Or if it's a pedestrian crossing sign, K15, your eyes should be actively scanning the sidewalks, the road edges, looking for people, especially children who might suddenly enter the roadway without any warning. This active, targeted search for the actual hazard is precisely what makes the warning effective. It transforms it from a general alert into a focused, intelligent quest for a specific potential threat.
Okay, so slow down, take close attention. What's the third rule?
And third, depending on the specific message of the sign, you must modify your driving style accordingly. This is where the universal actions slow down, pay attention, become tailored, intelligent responses to the particular situation described by the sign's icon.
So this is the adaptation part.
This is the adaptation. The warning sign doesn't issue a direct command like, say, a stop sign or a speed limit sign, but it demands an intelligent, informed, and precise modification of how you're driving.
What might that look like?
Well, it could mean a whole range of things. Maybe maintaining a significantly greater following distance from the vehicle in front, especially if the sign warns of a slippery road, K12, or maybe poor visibility. It might mean deciding absolutely not to overtake in a section of road indicated as dangerous, like a sharp curve, K1, or a narrowing road, K5.
Makes sense.
Or it could mean being prepared to gently check your brakes before a steep downhill, K3, or anticipate how your vehicle might behave on potentially uneven surfaces, K10, K11. The essence here is that you're using the information from the sign, combined with your heightened attention and your reduced speed, to make proactive, smart adjustments. You're anticipating the hazard rather than just reacting when it suddenly appears right in front of you.
Slow down, pay attention, adapt. That's a powerful framework. So connecting this back to the bigger picture, why is this immediate and precise reaction, this synergy of the three rules, why is it so critically important?
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, the correct understanding and, crucially, the prompt response to warning signs, It isn't just good practice. It's not just nice to do. It is critical for road safety, full stop. It can, and does, prevent serious accidents that might otherwise be completely unavoidable.
It's active, not passive driving.
Exactly. It truly demands an active, responsible, and proactive behavior from every single driver. It's simply not enough to merely observe the sign. You have to act upon its warning. And these three actions, they work together in concert. Reducing speed buys you the precious time and the physical control needed for increased attention. That increased attention then informs the specific nuanced driving adjustments you need to make.
One enables the next.
Precisely. Without speed reduction, your attention might not be enough to process the hazard in time. Without focused attention, your speed reduction might be insufficient, or you might adapt in the wrong way. This integrated approach, slow down, pay attention, adapt, it's the absolute cornerstone of safe driving in potentially hazardous areas. It's about treating every single warning sign as a personalized, preemptive instruction. An instruction to prepare for the unknown, and often, frankly, to save lives.
Okay, now for the real deep dive. We've discussed the general principles, the why and the how of responding to warning signs overall. But the Greek road traffic code, the KOK, provides this really comprehensive catalog of specific signs, doesn't it? From K1 all the way up to K40.
It does. It's very detailed.
So we're going to group these by theme and discuss what each type of sign specifically tells you and, importantly, how you should fine-tune your driving behavior for each. We probably won't cover every single one in minute detail, but we'll hit the key examples in each category to really illustrate those crucial adaptations.
Yeah, and this is where that knowledge becomes truly powerful, right? It allows you to move beyond just general caution, oh, a triangle, be careful, to precise situation-specific responses. Understanding the subtle nuances of each icon lets you perfect those universal safe driving practices, slow down, pay attention, adapt for the exact hazard that's coming up. So let's look at some key categories and really break down the required driver behavior for each. Okay, first up, let's talk about turns and curves. These are covered by signs like K1A, K1, K2A, and K2. So K1 is epituna extere strophe, a dangerous left turn.
And K1 is the same, but a dangerous right turn.
Exactly. Then we have K2 and a K2. These signal epigenous rhophsis, temerity, dangerous to successive or continuous turns. K2 means the first one is to the left.
And K2 means the first one is to the right. Got it.
Right. So when you encounter a sign like K1, that dangerous left turn warning, your immediate and most critical action is speed reduction. And this has to happen before you even start turning the wheel. You want to enter that curve at a low controlled speed. Why?
Because if you go in too fast,
You exceed your tire's grip. You lose traction. It's a recipe for understeer where the car plows straight on or oversteer where the back end slides out. Disaster.
So slow down first. Then what?
Then your increased attention needs to focus intensely on the curvature of the road itself. You're looking ahead, anticipating potential blind spots around the corner, and keenly observing the road's exit. You're looking for anything unexpected debris, another vehicle, anything.
And the adaptation.
For adaptation, you need to maintain a steady, smooth steering input throughout the turn. Avoid any sudden braking while you're actually in the turn. That can easily upset the car's balance and lead to that loss of control we just mentioned. Also, be prepared for changes in road camber. You know, how the road might bank or slope slightly in the turn.
Right, like on a racetrack turn.
Sometimes, yeah, or sometimes it slopes the wrong way. That banking, or lack of it, can suddenly shift and really impact your grip. Now, if you see signs like K2 or K2 indicating those successive turns,
The double curves.
yeah, the S-bends or chicanes, you need to extend this approach. Prepare for the second turn almost immediately after navigating the first. Maintain a consistent, controlled speed between them. Don't accelerate hard, then brake hard again. Treat it essentially as one long, complex maneuver requiring sustained focus and smooth control.
Okay, turns covered. Next, we have signs related to slopes and gradients, specifically K3 and K4. These can really affect how your car performs and handles, especially braking downhill.
Absolutely. These alter the forces acting on your vehicle significantly. K3, that's Eigentun Kataphoria, warns of a dangerous downhill slope. And the sign usually indicates the gradient, say 10% or 12%.
And K4 is the opposite. Ikunduni Anaphia.
Correct. A dangerous uphill slope, again, usually with the gradient specified.
So downhill first. K3, what's the key?
For K3, the dangerous downhill, speed reduction is absolutely paramount. But it's not just about braking. You should reduce your speed and, crucially, Select a lower gear before you even begin the descent.
Use the engine to help brake.
Exactly. It's called engine braking. It helps control your speed without relying solely on your friction brakes. This is vital to prevent your brakes from overheating and fading. That's a terrifying loss of braking power that can happen on long or steep descents.
Right, you don't want your brakes failing on a steep hill.
Definitely not. Your increased attention on a downhill should be on other vehicles, especially heavy goods vehicles, lorries, trucks. They might be going much slower or potentially harder to control, or their brakes might be getting hot too. And continuously monitor your own speed. Make sure it remains safe and controllable throughout the descent.
Okay, and for K4, the uphill slope.
For K4, the dangerous uphill, your adaptation needs to focus on maintaining momentum. You need to be prepared to adjust your gear, maybe shift down earlier than usual, and apply more power smoothly to avoid losing too much speed or even stalling, particularly if your vehicle is heavily loaded or towing something. On steep uphills, anticipate slower traffic ahead and just be patient. Everyone's vehicle is working harder against gravity.
Roadway narrowing is another common hazard, covered by signs like K5, K6E, and K6I. These situations can quickly become pinch points, can't they? Potential conflict zones.
They really can. These signs demand very clear and immediate adjustments to avoid conflict. K5 indicates kaiphastenosi otastis dustus eteropolars, dangerous narrowing of the roadway on both sides.
Like the roads squeezing in from left and right.
Precisely. Then K6 warns of a dangerous narrowing on the left side. And K6 shows a dangerous narrowing on the right side. Desti plut.
So what's the drill when you see one of these?
Well, first, you must slow down significantly. Prepare for less available space on the road. Simple physics. Less room means less margin for error. Your increased attention should be highly alert, scanning ahead for oncoming traffic, or perhaps vehicles in your direction needing to merge or change position within that narrower section. You're basically anticipating a potential bottleneck.
Looking for potential conflicts.
Exactly. And the key adaptation here is to be prepared to yield, especially if it's a two-way traffic situation and there's oncoming traffic already in the narrow part, or if a vehicle is clearly established in the narrowing section moving towards you, you might need to stop and wait. Maintain your lane position cautiously, avoid any sudden movements that could cause a conflict, or worse, force another vehicle off the road. And crucially, do not attempt to overtake in a narrowing section. The risk is just far too high for the limited space available.
Especially K5, where both sides narrow.
Yes, if both sides narrow, as shown by K5, be extra vigilant. Space will be at an absolute premium, and it often requires careful negotiation and maybe even eye contact with other drivers to pass safely.
Moving on, we have a group of signs indicating special road conditions. This seems like a bit of a mixed bag from K7 to K12. These point to some very specific and maybe sometimes unexpected environmental or structural hazards.
Indeed, this group covers quite a diverse range of conditions, and they all demand significant vigilance and generally a smooth, controlled driving style. For example, K7 warns of a kinia gefar, a movable bridge, like a drawbridge.
Okay, that's quite specific.
And K8 indicates that the alas upoifrai st potamach, the road leads directly to a quay or a riverbank. Basically, the road ends in water.
Right, don't want to miss that one.
Definitely not. Then we have K9, which points to ikinin o listroma, sekatastastas, a dangerous slippery roadway, often in bad condition, maybe with potholes, etc. K12 is a more general warning for isotherma, just a slippery roadway, perhaps due to rain, ice, or oil.
And K10 and K11, they sound similar?
They relate to uneven surfaces. K10 warns of ekinuno astukoma, dangerous uneven roadway, or maybe a sudden dip, a kolialig. K11 is similar, pikentutasaflorta, dangerous vertical unstable ground, like a rut or, again, a sudden concave change in the road's slope, basically big bumps or dips.
Okay, so quite a variety. What's the universal approach here?
For all of these signs, K7 through K12, speed reduction is absolutely critical. They all involve either a direct risk of impact, like hitting a pothole, or a high chance of losing control, like on a slippery surface, or driving off a key. So, reduce your speed significantly.
And attention.
Your increased attention needs to be tailored. For signs like K7, movable bridge, and K8, road ends at water, you need to be looking for the specific hazard. Are there barrier arms coming down? Flashing lights? or just the edge of the water. For K9, K10, K11, and K12, the ones about road surface condition, you need to focus intently on the road surface immediately ahead. Actively look for those visible hazards: potholes, deep ruts, wet patches, shiny oil slicks, anything that suggests reduced grip or a potential jolt.
And the adaptation. How do we adjust driving?
Okay, adaptation. For K7, movable bridge, be prepared to stop completely if the bridge is opening or closing. Follow the signals. For K8, road ends at K, exercise extreme caution as you approach the road's end. You are literally running out of road, so slow right down and be ready to stop well short. For the signs indicating poor road surfaces K9 through K12, the absolute key is to avoid sudden braking or sharp steering inputs. Drive smoothly.
Smoothness is key.
Essential. Anticipate bumps or sudden changes in the road surface and be prepared for reduced tire grip. This also means significantly increasing your following distance from other vehicles because their reactions to these hazards might be sudden or unpredictable. For K10 and K11 specifically, the uneven road or ruts, prepare for your vehicle to dip or rise unexpectedly. Hold the steering wheel firmly but gently, allowing the suspension to do its work, rather than fighting every little bump.
Expanding on road surface issues, we have road surface hazards, specifically with signs K13 and K14. These seem to relate more to loose materials that can be hazardous, maybe flying up or already on the road.
That's exactly right. These signs are crucial for both protecting your vehicle and helping you maintain control under specific, often temporary conditions. K13 is ekinine etinasi kakwin, which basically means danger from loose chippings or gravel being thrown up. You often see this after road resurfacing.
Right, the little stones hitting your windscreen.
Precisely. And K14 indicates sonomas atisi Russian kaya tin parusa tustodosoma, danger from falling rocks, and also from rocks already being present on the roadway.
Okay, so what's the strategy for these two?
For both, reducing your speed is essential. For K13, loose chippings, slowing down minimizes the impact energy of any projectiles hitting your vehicle's paintwork or windshield. It also significantly improves your stopping distance because loose surfaces offer much less grip. For K14, falling rocks, slower speeds simply give you more time to spot and react to sudden obstacles on the road.
And where should your attention be focused?
Your increased attention for K13 should be on looking for that loose material spread across the road surface. You'll often see the small stones scattering as vehicles pass. For K14, you need to be scanning not just the road ahead, but also the surrounding slopes and rock faces above the road. Look for any signs of recent rockfall, like fresh debris or obviously unstable areas.
And adaptation. How do we adjust?
In terms of adaptation, for K13 loose chippings, maintain a significantly greater distance from the vehicle in front of you. This gives you more space to avoid being hit by stones flung up by their tires. And as with any loose surface, avoid sharp braking or aggressive steering inputs. These actions can easily cause your tires to lose grip, potentially leading to a skid. Smoothness is key again. For K14 falling rocks, specifically, be prepared for sudden, large, immovable obstacles on the road. And understand that walkfalls can happen at any moment in areas prone to them, even if you don't see one actively falling right then. Assume the danger is present.
Now we move to a very sensitive, very important category, vulnerable road users. These are indicated by signs K15, K16, and K17. These signs demand, I imagine, the absolute highest level of caution and maybe even empathy from drivers.
You're absolutely right. These signs require the utmost prioritization of human life and a profound sense of responsibility from anyone behind the wheel. K15 signals autono devices pone danger due to a pedestrian crossing ahead.
The classic zebra crossing warning.
Often, yes. Then K16 indicates secondaros suscens kinesis piety danger due to the frequent movement of children, typically near schools, playgrounds, parks, etc.
Extra caution needed there.
Immense caution. And K17 warns of sutinos stucius edabasis koditaista danger due to frequent entry or crossing of cyclists.
Okay, so pedestrians, children, cyclists. What's the absolute baseline response?
For all of these situations, speed reduction must be significant and immediate. You must lower your speed to a point where you are absolutely prepared to stop immediately if needed. No hesitation. Your increased attention must involve actively, constantly scanning sidewalks, the edges of the road, driveways, bus stops, and all potential crossing points for pedestrians, children, and cyclists. Look between parked cars. Children in particular, as K16 warns, can be highly unpredictable and impulsive. They might dart into the road without looking, chasing a ball, or just not understanding the danger. So your vigilance needs to be at its absolute peak in areas like school zones.
Assume the unexpected.
Assume the unexpected always. In terms of adaptation, you must be ready to stop at a moment's notice. Always, always yield to pedestrians and cyclists, giving them ample space and time to cross safely. Don't crowd them. For Case 16 specifically, where children are expected, reduce your speed to a crawl if necessary, especially during school drop-off or pickup times. Be extremely vigilant. Assume a child might make an unexpected move, and please avoid using your horn aggressively near vulnerable users. It can startle them, especially children or elderly pedestrians, and lead to unpredictable, panicked reactions. The key here is to exercise extreme patience, anticipate hazards, and assume the least predictable behavior from pedestrians and cyclists. Give them space, give them time.
Animals on the road can also pose a significant and often sudden danger, indicated by signs K18 and K19. It feels like a risk that's sometimes underestimated, maybe especially in rural areas.
It certainly can be, and the consequences can be severe for both the animal and the vehicle occupants. These signs prompt caution for both domestic and wild animals, and they require a different kind of vigilance. K18 warns of innesis okisitondon, danger from crossing domestic animals. This might include sheep, cows being moved between fields, horses, or even unattended pets like dogs.
And K19.
K19 signals sanunos aquillon, danger from crossing wild animals. Depending on the region, this could be deer, wild boar, foxes, badgers, kangaroos, a whole range of creatures.
So domestic or wild, what's the approach?
For both signs, speed reduction is vital, especially during dawn, dusk, and throughout the night. These are often the times when animals are most active and, crucially, much harder to see against low light or darkness. Your increased attention should involve actively scanning not just the road, but well off to the sides into fields, forests, verges, looking for any signs of movement. At night, specifically look for the reflection of your headlights in animals' eyes. They often appear as bright pinpricks of light before you see the animal itself.
Right, that eye sign.
Exactly. The key adaptation is to be prepared to brake suddenly and firmly if an animal does appear. However, and this is critical, try to avoid swerving violently to dodge an animal, especially a smaller one.
Why not swerve? Isn't that instinctive?
It can be, but it's often incredibly dangerous. Swerving could put you directly into the path of oncoming traffic, or send you off the road into a ditch, a tree, or even cause you to lose control and roll the vehicle over. The general advice, difficult as it may be, is to prioritize human safety over animal safety. Sometimes braking hard and hitting a smaller or medium-sized animal is, tragically, the safer option compared to a potentially catastrophic secondary collision or rollover that endangers the human occupants of your vehicle and others. Brake firmly, in a straight line if possible, and maintain control.
Okay, let's cover some signs that indicate temporary hazards and traffic controls. Thinking of things like K20, K21, and K23. These often seem to describe dynamic situations that require immediate, specific responses from drivers.
Precisely. These aren't usually static hazards. They're often changing situations that demand specific situational responses and a heightened awareness of a potentially confusing or altered environment. K20 is very common. Paninos loco ectolosi latios danger due to roadworks in progress.
See those all the time.
We do. K21 provides caution that parasos kosi fiseke luthin setamen sostomie futin simatostisi. Basically, caution, traffic ahead is regulated by 3-color traffic lights, and advance warning.
Useful if they're hidden around a bend.
Very. And K23 warns of ktunoas lokuj plurkoch imus danger due to strong side wind. Often, the sign includes a windsock symbol showing the likely direction.
Right, the windsock sign.
So the response. For K20, roadworks, and K21, upcoming traffic lights, speed reduction is key to safely managing the immediate environment and being ready to stop or follow instructions. For K23, side wind, reducing your speed significantly enhances your vehicle's stability and your ability to control it against the force of the wind. Less speed, less surface area effect.
And attention. What are we looking for?
Your increased attention for roadworks, K20, means diligently looking for workers on or near the road. Temporary lane changes, narrowed lanes, construction machinery moving, and any temporary signage like cones, barriers, or temporary speed limits. Follow those temporary signs precisely. For traffic lights, K21, you need to anticipate stopping or slowing down well in advance. Prepare for the light change before you're right on top of it, scanning for vehicles ahead that might stop suddenly. For strong side winds, K23, be keenly aware of the wind direction, feel it on the car, and anticipate its potential sudden effect on your vehicle's path. This is especially important if you're driving a larger, high-sided vehicle like a van, an SUV, a camper van, or towing a trailer or caravan. They catch the wind much more.
Makes sense. And the adaptation.
The adaptation for roadworks involves diligently following all temporary signage and any instructions from traffic controllers. Stay alert for sudden stops by vehicles ahead, maintain a safe following distance, and crucially, respect the safety of the workers by giving them as much space as possible. For upcoming traffic lights, K21, prepare to stop smoothly. Don't accelerate to try and beat an amber light. It's just not worth the significant risk of a collision. For side winds, K23, maintain a firm, steady grip on the steering wheel, maybe with both hands, and be prepared for sudden lateral movements or buffeting, especially when emerging from sheltered areas like behind buildings or trucks, or when passing large vehicles yourself. Gentle countersteering might be needed.
We have another set of signs covering specific transportation and road features. These look like K22, K24, K25, and K26. They seem to cover some fairly unique situations that might not be immediately obvious without the sign.
That's a good way to put it. These signs require a mix of general caution and sometimes very specific awareness, often relating to things you don't typically encounter on every drive. K22 is quite specific. Kununos, Flofo, Camilis, Passis, Prosopagiochmenon, Aquoyochmen Araskaf danger due to low-flying, arriving, or departing aircraft. You'll usually only find these near airports or airfields.
Right, to airplane sign.
K24 is an advance warning of Krenaglis Kroklophorias two-way traffic ahead. This is often found when a one-way street ends or you're joining a road where traffic comes from both directions after being on a divided highway.
Important heads up.
Very. K25 is the general Hrosash, Lusus Kingnos sign, caution, other danger. This is used for hazards not specifically covered by any of the other signs from K1 up to K24. It often has a supplementary plate underneath explaining the specific danger, but sometimes it's just the exclamation mark.
The mystery danger sign.
Kind of. It demands extra alertness. And K26 cautions drivers about an orsosta e supisi e as vigzi Protericita caution, intersection ahead where priority is given to traffic from the right. This is common in some countries or specific types of junctions.
Okay, so aircraft, two-way traffic, mystery danger, and priority from the right. How do we handle these?
For all of them, reducing speed slightly allows for better assessment of these unique or potentially confusing situations. Give yourself more time. Your increased attention for K22, low-flying aircraft, should primarily be on avoiding sudden noise or visual distraction from the aircraft itself. The main goal is to maintain focus on driving the car safely. For K24, two-way traffic, you need to mentally prepare to encounter oncoming traffic, possibly in a lane right next to you, especially if you've been on a one-way system for a while. For K25, that general other danger sign, it demands an extra vigilant state of mind precisely because the exact hazard is unspecified. You have to assume the worst and scan broadly. For K26, priority from the right, you specifically need to scan intensely for any traffic approaching the intersection from your right-hand side, as they will have the right-of-way over you.
And the specific adaptations.
Okay, adaptation. For K22, aircraft, simply focus on your driving. Don't get distracted looking up at the plane. Maintain your speed and lane position. For K24 two-way traffic, maintain strict lane discipline, keep well to your side of the road, and absolutely do not attempt to overtake anywhere near the transition point, as you're now sharing the road space directly with oncoming vehicles. For K25, other danger, be prepared for anything. Slow down, increase your following distance, scan widely. It could be pedestrians, animals, debris, a temporary traffic setup, anything. This sign requires heightened awareness and readiness for the completely unexpected. For K26, priority from the right, be absolutely prepared to slow down and yield, or even stop completely for any traffic approaching from your right. This requires quick assessment and decisive action to give way before proceeding.
Now we come to a really critical and often quite complex category, railway crossings. The outline mentions a whole range of signs here, from K27 all the way up to K37. This feels like a particularly high-risk area where just a moment's inattention could be absolutely catastrophic.
You're right. This category is indeed extensive, and it's incredibly important because railway crossings, or level crossings, represent one of the most potentially dangerous types of intersections on any road network. The consequences of a mistake are severe. These signs cover various types of railway crossings, some with barriers, some without, some warning of single tracks, others multiple tracks, and signs indicating proximity. For example, K31 signifies Situnos, Logos, These Siderodomicus Dibasis Mekinitas Akio danger. due to a level railway crossing with movable barriers.
Okay, the ones with the gates.
Right, whereas K32 indicates tekinos locos sectoromicus debasis danger due to a level railway crossing implicitly without movable barriers, just lights, or maybe only a sign.
The open crossings.
Ugh.
Much riskier.
Potentially, yes, they require more driver vigilance. Then you have others like K33, K34, K35, which are countdown markers indicating proximity 3 bars, then 2, then 1 as you get closer. And K36 and K37 specifically denote atinos loco immesis getinas aspetis sidiormicus dibasis danger due to the immediate vicinity of a crossing, perhaps without barriers, K36, or explicitly warning of multiple railway tracks, K37, often with a crossbuck symbol.
So a lot of variations, but the danger is the same. A train could be coming. What's the absolute non-negotiable behavior here?
There are a few absolute ironclad rules for approaching any railway crossing. First, always reduce speed significantly. Approach slowly enough that you can stop safely before the crossing if necessary. Second, your increased attention must involve actively looking and listening for trains. Turn down your radio or pause your conversation. Look carefully in both directions along the track more than once. Check for any flashing warning lights or listen for bells or train horns. Watch for any movement of barrier arms if they exist.
Look and listen every time.
Every single time. Third, the key adaptation is to be prepared to stop. Never, under any circumstances, attempt to cross if barriers are starting to lower, if warning lights are flashing, or if a train is visible or audible and approaching. Don't try to race the train. Just don't. If there are no barriers, as indicated by signs like K32 or K36, you must slow right down or even stop completely, look carefully in both directions, listen, and only proceed when you are absolutely certain it is safe to do so.
And the multiple tracks warning, K37.
That requires extra caution. If multiple tracks are indicated, be especially vigilant. One train might pass, but another could be approaching quickly on a different track, perhaps hidden by the first train or coming from the opposite direction. Wait until you have a clear view of all tracks before crossing. And finally, once you've confirmed it's clear, drive across the tracks smoothly and without stopping on the tracks. Don't change gear while on the crossing if you can avoid it. A moment of impatience or a lapse in concentration or misjudgment at a railway crossing can have truly catastrophic, irreversible consequences. It demands your full attention.
Okay, nearly there. Finally, we have a group labeled Other Specific Hazards. This includes K38A, K38, K39, and K40. These seem to round out the system by addressing some other particular dangers drivers might encounter less frequently, but which are still important.
Exactly. These last few signs address particular dangers that, while perhaps less common than, say, a curve or a slope, are no less serious and demand specific, informed responses. K38 warns of a condu, a serra austera, a dangerous quayside or embankment edge on the left.
So a drop off to the left?
Correct. And K38 indicates the same, but equiplester daisy, a dangerous quayside edge on the right.
Yeah.
Essentially, the road edge drops away, often into water like a harbor or canal, or maybe just a steep drop.
High consequence if you go over.
Very high. K39 signals suntulophorics, frequent traffic congestion ahead. A warning about likely queues or stop-start traffic.
The traffic jam warning sign.
Basically, yes.
Yep.
And K40 warns of a sraga, a tunnel ahead.
Okay, quaysides, traffic jams, tunnels. What are the actions?
For all of these, speed reduction is advisable, particularly critical for K38 AB, the quaysides, where the edge is unforgiving, and for K39 congestion, to avoid running into the back of a queue. Even for tunnels, K40, reducing speed slightly on approach helps manage the transition.
And attention. Where should we look?
For K38 AB, quaysides, your increased attention should be acutely aware of the road's edge and that sudden, potentially fatal drop-off. You're actively trying to maintain a safe distance from that edge, tracking it carefully. For K39, congestion, you need to be looking far ahead, scanning for brake lights coming on maybe several cars ahead, anticipating the slowing or stopping of traffic well before you reach it. Think ahead. For K40 tunnels, be aware of the tunnel entrance itself, the often abrupt change in lighting conditions from bright daylight to dimmer artificial light, and the potential for reduced visibility inside due to spray and wet conditions or sometimes exhaust fumes.
And the final adaptation piece.
In terms of adaptation, for the quayside signs, K30A to B, steer carefully and deliberately away from the edge. Maintain a wide berth if possible, giving yourself plenty of room. Don't make any sudden movements towards the edge. For K39 congestion, maintain a significantly large following distance from the vehicle in front. This gives you more time to react if they stop suddenly. Be prepared for stop-and-go traffic, and try to minimize distractions inside the car. Put the phone down, focus entirely on the traffic flow. For K40 tunnels, there are several key adaptations. Always turn on your dipped headlights before entering, even if it's daytime. Remove sunglasses before entering to help your eyes adjust more quickly to the lower light levels. Maintain extra following distance from the vehicle ahead due to the potential changes in light, air quality, and the generally enclosed, sometimes visually challenging environment. Tunnels can also have their own specific speed limits or safety instructions displayed, so be alert for those as well.
You know, what's fascinating about covering all these specific signs isn't just the sheer number of them or the detail. It's the underlying principle that seems to emerge. This isn't just about memorizing symbols for a driving test. It feels like it's about developing a deeper understanding, a kind of road sense that evolves throughout your driving life.
That's a really crucial distinction, I think, because it raises an important question. How do we ensure this knowledge isn't just, crammed for the test and then forgotten, but truly becomes ingrained? Part of our driving habits, almost second nature.
Yeah, how does it stick?
Well, the sources we looked at, including the perspectives related to Iriso Grofswest's work, highlight that familiarity with these danger signs is a fundamental part of traffic education. And not just for new drivers getting their license, but for experienced ones too. It really has to be seen as a continuous learning process. Much like any skill playing an instrument, speaking a language, it needs regular practice and refinement to stay sharp.
So lifelong learning for drivers.
Essentially, yes. The ability to correctly understand the sign's message and then respond promptly and appropriately, it isn't just a suggestion. It's arguably the most crucial factor in preventing road accidents that stem from predictable hazards. It truly demands an active, responsible, and continuously attentive attitude from every driver.
It's not just passive observation.
Not at all. And the fact that this is often emphasized as part of ongoing driver education, refresher courses, things like that, it suggests that even highly experienced drivers can benefit immensely from revisiting these basics, perhaps because new signs are introduced occasionally, or maybe old ones get slightly reinterpreted in guidance, or perhaps most importantly, simply to reinforce those good habits that can unfortunately erode over years of driving. Complacency is a risk.
Right, bad habits can creep in.
They can. So this lifelong learning approach, this constant reinforcement, it seems vital for maintaining peak road safety. It helps ensure that our reactions remain sharp, automatic when needed, but also thoughtfully and precisely tailored to the road's ever-changing demands.
Now, we've spent a lot of time really digging into danger signs, and for very good reason. But it's probably worth just briefly touching on what they are not, just for clarity. How do these warning signs fundamentally differ from, say, a regulatory sign like a stop sign or a speed limit sign? What's the core distinction in their function?
Yeah, that's a great point for clarification because it underlines their specific purpose and their place within the whole ecosystem of road signage. Danger warning signs. Those triangles, they warn you about potential hazards. They are primarily advisory.
They give information.
Exactly. They give you crucial information so that you, the driver, can then make the right decision. Apply those golden rules of reaction we discussed. Slow down, pay attention, adapt. They prompt your judgment and inform your actions. Regulatory signs, on the other hand, typically circles, octagons, rectangles, they enforce specific instructions or prohibitions.
They tell you what to do or not do.
Precisely. They are mandatory, legally binding commands. For example, a danger sign for a sharp turn, like K1, it tells you, hey, be careful. There's a sharp turn coming up. You should probably slow down and be vigilant. It suggests a prudent course of action based on the hazard. However, a circular speed limit sign tells you, with the full force of the law behind it, the absolute maximum speed you are legally allowed to travel at that point.
No negotiation there?
None. And a stop sign, the octagon, demands a complete, unequivocal halt at the marked line. No rolling through. Understanding this clear distinction is really key to navigating the full spectrum of road signage effectively. One type, the warning sign, informs your judgment and invites proactive adjustment. The other type, the regulatory sign, dictates your action and demands strict compliance. Both are absolutely vital for road safety, but they operate on fundamentally different principles. Warning versus command. Hashtag tag outros.
Wow, what a journey through the silent guardians of our roads. We've really seen how these triangular signs, covering everything from that first dangerous curve, K10, all the way to tunnels, K40, and the KOK, are not just present on the roadside. They are meticulously designed and strategically placed, all to give you, the driver, the crucial information you need to adapt your behavior and stay safe. It really does all come down to that proactive approach we talked about. That immediate and intelligent reduction of speed, the heightened and continuous attention to your surroundings, and then the precise tailoring of your actions to the specific danger ahead.
And if we connect this back to the bigger picture, it just profoundly underscores the responsibility, doesn't it? The responsibility we all share every single time we get behind the wheel. The system is there, the signs, the rules, the engineering. The warnings are clear, the psychology and the physics are well understood. But the ultimate decision-making, the moment-to-moment adaptation, that rests squarely with you, the driver.
It's an active engagement.
Every single time you encounter one of these signs, it's an active engagement. It's a prompt for you to assess and react appropriately.
So the next time you see that familiar red triangle, remember it's not just a symbol to glance at and forget. It's an urgent, incredibly efficient message. It's a call to action, designed specifically to keep you and everyone else sharing the road around you safe. It's really an invitation, isn't it? An invitation to engage fully with your environment, to be present, and to drive with that heightened sense of awareness that moves beyond just mere compliance into true road mastery.
Well said. What really stands out to me from this deep dive is that constant vital dialogue happening between the road and the driver, and it's mediated so elegantly, so efficiently by these essential signs. It's a language we all learn when we get our license, but it's one we absolutely must continuously practice, respect, and refine throughout our driving lives to ensure our collective safety and well-being on the roads.
Indeed. So as you embark on your next journey, maybe you'll look at those warning signs with a bit of a newfound appreciation for their silent power and their critical purpose. And here's maybe a thought to ponder as we wrap up. In an increasingly automated driving future, as our vehicles become more capable of recognizing and reacting to these signs themselves, how might our human relationship with these traditional warnings evolve? And what irreplaceable human element of vigilance, judgment, foresight, adaptation, what part of that will always remain necessary, perhaps even more critical when we're behind the wheel, even with assistance?
That's a fascinating question for the future.
Something to think about. Drive safely, everyone. Thank you for joining us, and we'll catch you next time on The Deep Dive.